Hello, everyone. Welcome to Self Love You. I am Jenna Ryan, your self love life coach, and I am here today. It's a Monday, and I am doing life coaching sessions, one-on-one sessions all day. I have a break, and so I decided to do a video that's going to be very informative for you guys. If you're interested in coaching, come to my website to sign up for one-to-one coaching, selfloveyou.net. I'll leave a link in the description below. Meanwhile, today's topic is quite serious, and it's something that's very sad, and it's something that I have seen in my sessions with others as well as in my own life. I have personally battled and healed from depression and from depressive states, and I personally have had a lack of self-love in my life. And someone came on my page and said, how do I handle, I hate myself. I hate myself. And so I am I'm speaking this video for you, the person who came on one of my videos and said, how do I handle this self-hatred? And I'm going to couple that with how to handle depression. And together, those two items are they have a lot in common. A lot of times, whenever you hate yourself, you feel depressed. Whenever you hate yourself, you hate what you've done, you hate who you are, you hate where you're at, you feel stuck, you feel like you can't get ahead, you feel like no matter what you do, you're always going to be alone, that you're not lovable. All of these horrible, horrible lies and feelings, you're just flooded, triggered with these feelings of not being okay and emotional pain. These things will cause you to be very depressed. If you are depressed, that is because you're likely hearing thoughts in your mind that are contrary to who you truly are, that are hurtful to you. Anytime you have negative emotions, anytime you have negative core beliefs, anytime you have negative feelings, or you hear negative thoughts come into your head, anytime that is happening, that is a lie. And it causes pain because lies are painful. Our true essence, the true being of you, is free, is happy, is joyful. Of course, everyone has sadness in their life, but not to the extent where you can't get out of bed, where you don't feel like doing anything. You don't want to exercise. You just want to self-sabotage. You want to overeat, overdrink, take drugs, do things, lay around, watch TV, stay in a state that keeps you dissociated and apart and numb from your true feelings inside. That is what happens whenever you have a core sense of not being good enough, a core sense of not being lovable, a core sense of hating yourself. This is the absence of self-love. And in the absence of self-love, all you can have is toxic shame. And toxic shame, the good news is that toxic shame is not yours. The bad news is toxic shame feels like poo. It is a very negative place to be. You do not want to be there. However, a lot of the listeners of this channel found this channel because you have repetitive patterns of getting into negative relationships, abusive relationships, relationships with people who are not healthy for you. And if that is how you found the channel, then chances are you too have struggled with depression. You are perchance using other people as a way to get out of yourself and to get out of your feelings and to get away from this core sense that you're not good enough, not capable, not lovable, and you're trying to flee. And in order to flee and get out, you're getting in these relationships that are simply repeating patterns that you've experienced over and over and over all of your life, to put it quite bluntly. So what do you do? What do you do about these depressed feelings? What do you do about self-hatred? What do you do about not loving yourself? The absence of self-love, the absence of self-respect, the absence of self-nurture, the absence of self-protection, the absence of self-reliability, the absence of self-trust, the absence of self-love, the absence of feeling hope for the future. How do you heal this dilemma? It is certainly a dilemma. And it is certainly prevalent. I have so many people reaching out to me, telling me that they're in such a quandary, that they are in another relationship like the one before, and they are hopeless. They feel hopeless against being able to get out. Well, I'm here to tell you that you can get out of depression. And I think one of the best ways to explain this is just to tell you, you have to heal. You have to go through the healing process. You need to get help. You need to get support. You need to start journaling. You need to start, instead of running from yourself, you need to meet yourself. You need to meet yourself in those painful places so that you yourself can actually begin to be there for yourself in those times of need. Those times when you're expecting other people to come in and rescue you are the times when you are properly resourced, when you are properly supported, are going to be able to do that for yourself. It's all part of the healing journey, and you're on a healing journey. If you're feeling pain, if you're feeling emotional pain, if you're feeling depression, you can rise above these feelings. You can get above the pain, and you can look down and say, that's where I was. I'm so glad I was able to come up to a higher place. A place of peace, a place of hope, and a place of self-love. That is what this channel is all about, is to help you, my listener, to get from a place of just allowing yourself to be used and abused and walked all over and a doormat, going from that to being someone who is whole, who is complete, who is centered, who is grounded, who knows who you are, and who is able to get the things accomplished in life that you were born to accomplish, fulfill your purposes, and to fulfill your needs, your wants, and your desires. That's what you deserve. And that's what you get when you come out of the depressed state, when you come out of the dorsal vagal downward spiral, and you come up towards the top, towards the light, towards the sun, towards the heat, towards the future, towards your own value, knowing your worth, knowing your value, knowing you're innocent, knowing it's not your fault if you feel like crap. That's so important to know. It's so important to know, to just stand outside of yourself for a moment and say, wow, it is so nice to know that I am not my feelings. If you feel depressed, if you feel sad, if you feel emotional pain, one of the first things to understand is that it is not your fault. It's not who you are. You are not one with the pain. The pain is there, and the pain, it needs to be addressed, and it needs to be honored, and it needs to be respected, but you also must know that it is not who you are. Just because it lies and says you are bad, you are not lovable, you are not worthy, just because that voice, and I bet you that's very triggering to a lot of people right now, hearing those words are so painful because we believe those words. But the truth is they don't have anything to do with you. They have to do with the way that you were raised, the way that you were brought up, the way that you were nurtured, the way you were protected, the way you were cared for when you were a little bitty baby, all the way to today. Those things that happened to you, those ways you were cared for, those ways you were neglected, those ways you were abused, those ways you were disregarded, those ways your parents were too busy to take care of you, that is what is contributing to your sense of lacking self-love, self-hatred, self-depression, where you won't let yourself get ahead, where you have constant ruminations about how you are not good enough, or how you don't deserve that, or how, part of you knows you deserve it and the other part won't let you have it, and you have an internal conflict. And instead of dealing with the pain, the easiest thing to do is just to give up and have a drink. Give up and play a video game. Give up and play solitaire. Get up and go find another man, another woman, another relationship. Do anything. Get in your head. Become really knowledgeable about narcissists. Really start focusing on narcissists and know everything about them. But all the while ignoring the still small voice inside that tells you, hey, I'm here. You cannot get away. You cannot get away from your pain. You have to face it, and you have to be there. You have to be there for your pain, and you have to address it. You have to let it exist. You have to give it room. You have to let it be free, and in the process, it transmutes itself into beauty. You have to not be afraid to touch the bruise. It's like you're going to a doctor's office, and you have a cut. You go to the doctor's office, and you're like, okay, I have a cut, and I need stitches, but the doctor tries to touch it, and you go, no, I don't want you to touch it. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. I'm going to go, bye, see you later. That's what happens with our emotional pain. Emotional pain, the neuroscientists have found, will trigger the same neural pathways, lights up the same parts of your brain as physical pain. A heartbreak is as hurtful as physical pain. And many of my listeners have had heartbreak after heartbreak after heartbreak because it is a pattern that was learned long ago. Some of my listeners do not accept that yet. They're not ready to accept or don't even know what happened to them or how they were disregarded. And that's what my coaching is all about, is to help you to kind of figure out where all this pain and all this negative core belief stuff, where it stems from. And also about how to release and to get free and to teach yourself new ways of being so that you can be free and happy and joyful and continue to live your life the way that you deserve to live your life. So that's what it's all about. So what we're talking about today is hating yourself. Hating yourself. Whoa, that sounds so extreme, and yet there's so many people that are struggling with this very thing. And I think if you get to the bottom of it, if you really sought out, someone who wrote that on one of my comments, I think if you really seek that out and really search your heart, you'll find that you feel hated. It's not that you hate yourself, you feel hated. It's just a feeling of feeling hated. And that can come from abuse in childhood. That can come from society telling you have to be a certain way. And you are not in that way. And so it gives you the message that you're hated. I mean, it's not that you hate yourself so much, is that you feel hated. And so it's important to get to the bottom of those feelings and to be present for yourself in that moment of every day. And that is what I'm teaching in my coaching program. And we, oh my gosh, I just got another big piece of the puzzle. Healing is like a cycle. It's like a spiral. There's a healing spiral. And you heal. And every time you go around, you'll go past things and you get stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger, stronger. So as I've gone through my healing process, I've shared with you guys here on the Self Love You channel, I will tell you that there is a panacea. I don't know. I read it. I don't know how to say it. There's a top. There's a top. There's a summit. There's a place where there is no more emotional pain, where you are free from negative core beliefs, where you're free from thoughts of negativity towards yourself, where you are free from the pain of what happened to you when you were a child, where you are free of the desire to go and be with someone who is awful to you, where you are free of negative relationships, where you are free of feeling guilty, where you are free of feeling shame. There is a place, and I'm here to tell you it is a wonderful place, especially after you know all the other places that there is to be. But there is a place of healing, and it is there for you, and you do not have to be depressed, and you do not have to hate yourself. You are worthy, you are valuable, you are innocent, and it's not your fault. And if you feel that way about yourself, then you deserve to feel better, and you deserve to come to my coaching at selfloveyou.net. And I am ready for you. You guys sign up, and I will talk to you soon. Everyone have a great week. Talk to you soon. Bye.